Hello, welcome to my live. Jorjor, let me send you the link. Invite a guest. Copy. Inviting my guest.
Preston is a giant creeper. We need a giant creeper. Nathan, Preston, watch out. Nathan, I'm gonna stand. The creeper's gonna blow up the house. He's gonna blow up the house. It's the worst way to wake up. Creeper attack. Go to the boxes. Nobody touched my crazy card. Preston, you better not knock over this house. Let's try this. I just want to touch. No? Oh my gosh. No. We're almost done decorating the house. It's coming together. I'm gonna grab the axe just in case we need to cut down more wood. Nice. It's so big. Hey, Nathan. Oh, Minecraft shield. This house is coming together, guys. Look at this. Chuck it in there. Let's see what happens. Awesome. Oh, there's another two people. Oh, there's no reaction.
Oh, you're here. Hey, are you here? Invite a guest. Are you here? How to stream? Oh, you're here. We did it. Hello? Hello. Hello, how are you? Banners, brand. I'm just playing around with this and how I could do this. Hi, viewers. How are you guys doing? This is just me trying to figure out and get set up so I could do this consistently. And me and Georgia, we were having a great convo in Discord, so I wanted to try to see if we could do it here. I can't hear you, Georgia. Turn your mic on. Is it me? Am I the problem? Am I the drama? Hold on. I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Edit mic settings. I can't hear you. Cancel just mic. Brand. Why can't I hear you? Hello? Guest. Invite a guest. Hold on. Guest. Add to stream. Oh, I can hear you. I think I can hear you now. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me now? Finally?
Oh, perfect. I did it. Success. Mission accomplished. We're on our stream. Hi,
Finally.
we have one viewer. Hello, family. Hello. Okay, so we were talking about, I wanted to kind of pick up what we were talking about in Discord about how this whole psychology of people who hate a whole group of other people, but they continue to create people like us, and we need to really like scream at this because I really want people to like really face like, how in the Black community is like, you got to face your unconscious biases and stuff like that, and it's like, I really want people to face these type of things within themselves so they don't continue to create people out of hate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we have to be advocates for that. Like, we want people to be created out of love, right? That's my whole
100%.
opinion. I want us to be created from a space of love. Like, every child, I think every child deserves that. Of course, human beings are gonna be human beings and like do crazy weird shit. But I just think we should really make people aware of this type of stuff. It's our job to make people aware of what they're doing that affects us, right? Because nobody cares about issues that don't affect them, right? But shit that affects us, we have to be the ones to advocate for stuff and sit here and, make sure that we are speaking up about things, that affect our lives, that affects our community, that affect who we are, that affect how we live. So yeah. So what was I really like what you said. So I really want you to repeat that. So for anybody who ever, for the Broadways or for the airways or whatever. But what you said, it really really clicked in my brain about it's like people trying to find standing within their community, like what was that? That was so good.
Yeah, absolutely, Priscilla. So
Hmm.
essentially, what I was saying is that you will still have all these people who are living these double lives behind closed doors.
Hmm.
It's mainly because they're willing to say the craziest things, say the most outlandish things, and do the most outlandish things out there as a
Hmm.
means of trying to position themselves favorably in whatever chosen community they're a part of.
Hmm.
So whether it be somebody like, like the aforementioned woman I've mentioned, I'm not going to say her name out loud, but she rolled around with people who made racist jokes or people who
Hmm.
were arguably racist. She even told me that like when Obama was running for president in 2008, she and a couple of her friends like honked a horn at these people who were rooting for Obama and said, "Go to hell, N-word lover."
God
But
damn.
behind closed doors, she was sleeping with like the blackest dude that you can ever imagine,
Hmm.
with her being a white Irish girl.
God,
So
it's so weird.
it is weird like that, hence why her family had always described her as a hypocrite.
Right.
But again, she would, like I said, on paper or just maybe in appearance, she acted
Hmm.
that way though because she still wanted to maintain some reassurance in her chosen community and to position herself favorably in her chosen community. But underneath it all, she had a different side to her, a very dark, dirty secret that would obviously alienate her chosen crowd if they were to find out about all those details. People do it
Right.
all the time because they basically are out and about trying to look for validation, or if they
Hmm.
are already, battling with some ugly demons themselves, they're
Hmm.
willing to cope with those demons in the most unhealthiest way. And that's what you actually
Right.
see a lot of
That's what
people
people
who
are
are trying to
doing.
do in these social movements or in these socio-political like structures and communities out there. Like
Hmm.
they're one
Exactly.
thing in their social movement, but they're another thing in their personal lives.
Exactly. It's like people they could hate a whole sorry, I think there's an echo. But it's like people they hate a whole collective, right? It's like I hate this collective, I hate what they're about, I hate their culture, I hate how they do things, I hate how they look. But it's like they could love like an individual of that culture, I guess. That happens on both sides. We see that happen, with the pro black movement of people like they hate whiteness, they hate everything, it's against them, they're anti, but they could love like an individual and then create people who are of those two collectives. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's scary almost. It's really scary. Like you said, the cognitive dissonance or like the compartmentalization that people have to do in order to create people like us sometimes. I wish it
Yeah,
could just be like I love because people like are very like to be simplistic. Like love is love, people love and I agree. I wish we could be simple. I wish we could, but people make things so complicated with like just hating others and then like hating a whole other collective, but then like laying down with somebody of that collective and then creating person of what I'm saying that has to be part of those two collectives that can't dissociate, can't just go to this other collective and dissociate because your DNA is connected to both of these collectives, right? So it's like I just want people like this issue right here is something I really want to make sure it gets to like a mainstream level because I'm sick of it. Like we see it, and it's not just one group who does that. It's like every and you could be of any group. I'm not gonna let's not single out anybody, you know. And I want everybody to be sit here and really look at themselves and say, what am I doing? Like, what am I like? You know, like people who I just want this to be less of a thing, you know, because this is so common. It's such a common thing that happens, and I just want it to be. I want it to people to look at themselves more about this because it affects us the most, you know, like it affects us a
Exactly.
lot,
But the thing
right?
is about that is that I actually do see an advantage to that because
Mm-hmm.
if people like that are willing to come out with their very worst, and that is possibly just being like the biggest hypocrite out there, it makes our job a lot easier in terms of exposing it though and just showing these people for who they really are. And if they're willing to, want to fetishize us or even want to get in bed with us though, or just have like these crazy lust driven tendencies towards us, then it kind of shows who they are really underneath it all. And
Exactly.
that you're not really all of that in whatever your chosen community or your chosen circles are. Because sure, you may be like arguably racist, you're always trying to say stuff for validation purposes or for confirmation purposes though in whatever your chosen community is.
Mm-hmm.
But since you're kind of either opposed to the unions that created me in the first place,
Exactly.
but yet you're lusting after me, then it's not going to put any heat on me. It's going to put all the heat on you. And it's just
Exactly.
going to uplift us more than it's going to uplift them
Mm-hmm.
because they're already making it known that they're, like they're dealing with like the worst kinds of demons that you can ever imagine. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really sad, but since they're making that very known to me, that just offers more room for prayer.
Absolutely. I'm big on bringing things to the light, bringing things to our consciousness, right? Because as long as things stay in the dark, then it's never going to change. But as long as we shine a light on it and bring some awareness to it and bring some consciousness to these things, then we can make a change. But as long as things, it's like it's not talked about, it's taboo, it's something that it's just done in the dark, and then, nobody really talks about it, or then it's never gonna change. You can't change things you're not aware of. Some people do things that it's subconscious, right? They do things like subconsciously and they're not really thinking about it. They're just doing it and not really questioning it or sitting here and analyzing or having some introspect about it. So that's like what I really want to do. I want to bring some introspection and some questioning and some consciousness and some awareness and understanding to like these types of things that affect us, It definitely affects us a lot. And I just want to Oh, hey everybody. We got four people in here. Love y'all. We're talking about the crazy psychology of people who hate like a collective of people but will sleep with them and create biracial people like us, right? So we're trying to break down that psychology there because it's so common on both sides, like on both sides of the spectrum, both sides and all collectives. So it's like I really want people to be more aware of this and actually call this shit out and be like, no, so we don't create more self-hating biracial people. We can create people. If you like, how can you instill pride and love into somebody, but you hate a part of their community? You hate the part of the collective that they belong to. Like that's just gonna. That's why we have so many like people willing to deny themselves for acceptance of a community, right? So it's like it's sad and it needs to be called out because we want to be proud of who we are. We want to be proud of both sides. We don't want to sit here and have to always pick sides and sit here and have to always deny who we are in order for acceptance. And we want these people who create us. They're a big part of it. They're a huge part of it. We want to bring them into the conversation and try to break down the psychology and try to understand, like call this shit out. Like, no, if you're gonna be with somebody of another race, you have to learn how to love the collective. Even if there's always negative, you got to see the positive and negatives and be neutral about it and learn how to love the positives. And, some people like to make excuses for the negatives too. So it's just an interesting. Oh, hey, Jake. Hey, Glenn. Hey, y'all. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, he clicked back out. Oh, I was talking to myself. Let me try to get him back in here. Hold on 1 second. We were having a really good convo. He's really cool. Anybody could come up here, really. I want to talk to everybody. Copy to clipboard. Copy. Sorry, I'm just kind of slow. I'm kind of trying to figure things out here. Let me make a comment. Hold on. Where did my comment go? comment. More. Post a comment. Okay. Paste. There we go. Chat. Okay. All right, I posted the StreamYard for anybody who wants to sit here and talk to me. If you all go, hello, how are you doing? Always, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really grateful for the community. I'm really grateful for you guys. Like, I'm really shy, introverted person, but you guys really make me want to speak up and use my voice more and share my piece and, add my opinion to things. It matters, right? It's not something that's just whatever. It matters to us. Like, we matter a lot. And so let me try to invite my friend back, Jordan, back in here. Let me try to oh, here we go. Here we go. Add to stream. Okay, you're back. Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was an accident.
Perfect. It's all good. We're all
Sorry.
trying to figure it out,
But
Anybody's welcome
yeah,
up here, though.
yeah. What were we saying?
I was saying how we want to call out like this like psychology of like people who create us, but they hate the other part of us, right? I just wanted to sit here and call it all out.
Yeah, that's kind of like like what I brought up earlier though in the stream with angry biracial.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a psychological term called cognitive dissonance, which is I guess what you already touched on a little earlier though. But
Mm-hmm.
to break down the definition of that, it's essentially when your thoughts and beliefs are contradicting your actions, and you start
Mm-hmm.
to feel a
It's a
great
lot.
deal
It
of
happens a lot.
exactly, and you start to experience a great deal of mental discomfort as a result of maybe your beliefs and your actions and your words just
Mm-hmm.
not really lining up with your actions.
Right. Exactly.
So kind of like
Exactly.
such as like the woman I mentioned earlier, though. Okay, yeah, you are hurling inward lovers at these people in Bakersfield who were rooting for Obama during the 2008
Mm-hmm.
presidential
But
election.
you sleep with a mixed
But
person. Crazy,
more
right?
than just that, though, but even before sleeping with that mixed person, she
Yep.
was having a great time with the blackest dude in the neighborhood.
Isn't that shit weird to me? And how,
People,
okay, how does it affect us though? So when it comes to us, right, in our communities and how we live our life, how we see ourselves, right? It's like, how do we cultivate a sense of love of who we are? It took me a long time. I used to hate my white side. I was like, I feel disgusting because I've heard so many hateful things about like, it's common, very, very common, right? So it's like we need to develop a sense of love for who we are, even though we get racism on both sides, right? I still want to have love for both of my sides, right? Even though they both do fucked up shit, there's both positive and negative within both two of these collectives of people, right? So it's like, how do we cultivate that sense of love towards ourselves and towards these two different, very vastly different collectives that we're a part of that have done fucked up shit towards us? How do we find forgiveness and healing and like, how do we find that sense of love for ourselves that we want to stand up for ourselves, we want to be proud of ourselves, but we also don't want to take no shit from nobody, right? We want to be respected, you know how do we it's like that person, she don't respect black people but she'll sleep with a black person, and then if you have a child, they're probably gonna still they're not gonna respect black people as much as they should because of that. So it's like I just want to feel a sense of respect. Like I could respect white people, I could respect black people, I could respect myself. Just having that sense of respect. And oh, hello, mixed up since 80. Hello, my friend.
hey guys, howdy.
Anybody could come up here. Let me post the link. Like we're just trying to like just vibe and talk about things that we were having a good convo in the Discord. So I was like, let me try to do this live. I like just having conversations and like intellectual stimulation and just start. I like questioning things. I like looking at things from all angles and trying to. I don't really like creating a narrative. You know how people like there's like one story. There's multiple stories that we could explore in our experiences and you know.
Okay, so I can actually start by like breaking down as to how to really create that interconnected network where we could actually
Mm-hmm.
develop a sense of, well, more importantly, a collective sense of self-love and just respect for oneself. So we live in a country where
Hello.
you can essentially kickstart any kind of social movement. You have
Right.
Antifa, you have BLM, you
We got
have
lost.
left wing, right wing, center left, center to the right, moderate conservative. You have a million different social movements and political movements out there in this country that are all
Mm-hmm.
protected under the First Amendment and other like principles that even allows people to make it that far. We
Mm-hmm.
could emulate those models, but have it be different. We could reach out to people, let them know is that, although you might be treated like a social pariah by both sides of your family, especially if you're more like a first generation mixed person such as yourself, they
Yes.
could always come out to us still, and then we could let them know is that yeah, it may suck that your biological family is treating you like a social pariah, but blood is not going to always be thicker than water because it can
Nope.
be your blood who could feed you to the wolves sooner
Yep.
than any other person could. But
Nope. That's facts.
it would be a good thing to establish both that in real life and online intentional community, much like how
Yes.
Angry Biracial has going on, and
Mm-hmm.
just letting them know is that we're here if you want to talk, we're here if you really need to have your self-esteem boost, and then let's
Mm-hmm.
just take that muscle right there and let's just start to grow it and develop it and make it stronger and firmer. And from
Period. Off the
there,
strength. Yep.
exactly, and then from there you could actually have now a well organized group, a well
Mm-hmm.
organized faction, well
Mm-hmm.
networked group of mixed race people who actually have a sense of self love and actually have a sense of self respect and actually now have even thicker skin to be able to just not really care about what people are thinking because long story
Exactly.
short, it's not your business as to what they're really thinking about you, because if you're going to have your haters out there, you're always going to have your lovers out there too, and we're here to
Mm-hmm.
express
Period.
the love and respect for you
We gotta
though,
focus on the
regardless
love.
of where you come from in terms of your
Exactly.
multiple ethnic identities.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
just
And
that's
yeah,
one way to
sorry.
start. So many
I love
different
it.
ways, but then that's
Yeah.
just like a way of kickstarting it, though, especially when they're in
Mm-hmm.
the right country to do so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my opinion, organization is the key to success for anything, right? Because it's like you go to a business or anything, and it's like all crazy and chaotic. You don't know what's going on. You don't know whose role is to do what or what's going on. We got to be clear, like clarity, having clarity and understanding and organization about what we are, what we're about, what we're trying to do is everything. So everybody knows what to do, like where what they can contribute. They could be encouraged to know. Because if you don't know what to do, you're not going to really do anything. What's the chances you're going to do anything if you don't know what you're doing or what you can do? So it's like that call to action of like understanding about what we truly want as like a collective and understanding like what we want to see in the real world too. It's not just online, but also like make waves in the real world, you know? Because I for one, I definitely want to like have like anti-discrimination laws and stuff passed, because when I go to work and I'm like the only multiracial biracial person in that bitch, it's so easy for us to get singled out and sit here and get bullied in the workplace. That's been my experience in a lot of different workplaces, you know, and that's why I advocate for owning our own shit too, right? So nobody gets sit here and bully us and, you know, treat us any kind of way just because we're the only person like us in the establishment. So I definitely want to get like people, make people be aware of like it's not okay to sit here and single us out and bully us. No, there should be protections and stuff for us so that doesn't happen in the workplace or in schools or wherever we go, because we're not like most of the time we're the only person in there. We're not, you know, walking through this world. It's lonely. That's why we wanted to build like a sense of online community, you know, so we don't feel so goddamn alone in this bitch, you know. So yeah, definitely like in the real world it's a lonely path, but we could help people build that sense of pride, because there's more people. We have that collective, like, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly, though.
Oh, look, how
But
are you? Oh, hold on, I gotta say hi. Hi. Yes, me too, Magic. Yes, men or women are individuals only united by women. Only united by women. The issue lies with light skinned mixed women coming together. Oh, what you mean? Like, oh, you should come up here. I would love to hear your take on that. I want to
yeah,
understand what
because
you're saying.
I would definitely have some things to even say in regards to that too.
Hey, Magic. Hey, mulatto mermaid. Hi, beautiful. Yes, we need some
Hey,
laws. Like
mulatto
that's some
mermaid.
that's some concrete, like tangible things that we need established, right? Like we need some like concrete, and I think it can happen. What we give it 5 years or so, we got to think like we got to think long term. It's not just like quick and easy, and things are just gonna. But if we keep building like this, maybe 5, 10 years down the line, like we could really have like a solid group support push for this, and have our allies, the people who create us, like whoever, they could be our allies in this, and they could help because they want their children to be protected, right? I would want my kid, if I was a monoracial person that had I would want my children to be protected. So it just makes sense. It's just something that would all bring us together, that we deserve protection. We deserve to not sit here and get bullied for being biracial. But look at Meghan Markle. She got bullied her like it was disgusting. It was horrible how she
Yeah,
got just for
absolutely.
being born biracial. So
But this is also what I did want to say is that yes, definitely enforcing anti-discriminatory laws is needed though, and that it should
very
actually be
needed. That would
applicable to
benefit all
everybody
of
though
us.
too. That should be even
Exactly.
applicable to even gay person or a trans person
Yeah.
or black or white or Hispanic
Mhm.
or Asian person, regardless of wherever they come from, regardless of creed. But at the same time, what I wouldn't really want us doing, though, is any of our people perpetuating some kind of victim or persecution complex. Because, yes, in
Mhm.
spite of the fact that, yes, we've had, you know, bozos out there who have treated us like social pariahs, we are
Mhm.
called to become victors, not victims. Because there's that, even that
Absolutely.
one,
Have a
like,
victor mindset.
exactly, though, because this is something that even like Frederick Douglass, who was a mulatto, had said,
Mhm.
and it was a controversial quote of his. He said, "If the Negro cannot stand on his feet, let him fall." Well, I
Mm.
should say, if we can't stand on our feet because somebody is supposedly pushing us down, then we will fall, and then perhaps we were meant to fall. But
Mhm.
since I actually have and see like more of a semblance of hope with us, especially in this country where we can kickstart any kind of social movement and really get it out there,
Mhm.
we could actually rise to become victors, not victims. Because more
Absolutely.
importantly, though,
Absolutely.
the last thing I want people doing or thinking is that, well, are these mixed race people going to perpetuate the same kind of victim or persecution complex that you may see some of those in the black community perpetuating? And though, and I would like to come in there and say, actually, we are quite animately opposed to any kind of victim complex, regardless of how people may have treated us out there in that world, though.
Right.
Because
Right.
more importantly, a lot of us have actually lived normal lives. I've lived
We're
a
normal
normal life.
because
I've lived a
yeah.
normal upbringing, though, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've never faced any hostility.
Yeah.
But I'm not a victim at all, and I'm not quote unquote oppressed. So
Right.
if
It's
we could,
just sorry, go ahead.
no, go on. Sorry, go on,
No,
Priscilla.
go ahead. If we could no, finish your thought. Sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
no.
interrupt.
So it's just one thing first is that, yes, anti discriminatory legislations for everybody, but then at the same time, no one thinking that they're a victim or that they're quote unquote oppressed or persecuted, because that's just going to be something that would actually be the end of this
Mhm.
amazing community that we already have established.
Right.
And then also, we're not looking for money though, because we understand that a lot of people in those movements tend to become grifters. Like,
Yes.
so
Like the
we're
Jesse
not looking
Jacksons.
to Jesse Jacksons, to Al Sharptons, the race
Yeah.
hustlers. We're not looking to become a race hustler, because I can tell you this though,
Right.
I've argued a lot more with other mixed race people than I ever have. And I find that they are wrong on so
Oh,
many
we got
matters though.
RPG.
And they're going to be those who I'm actually am just not going to even want anything to do with either though. But all
Absolutely.
I'm just about nowadays is fair reporting and fair representation. Nothing more,
Absolutely.
nothing
Respect.
less.
Hello, Real Talk Fam
Hey,
people. How are you?
How's it going, y'all?
Hello. Oh my
welcome
gosh.
aboard.
Yeah, I'm a guy.
I still okay, so I was part of your Discord. So somehow my account got hacked or something, but I still see the
I,
messages that you
I'm be
post in
honest
your
with you. I don't
Discord.
I don't even know who you are. I'm just
I
happen to
know.
be subscribed to you.
Oh yeah, I talked to you before a long time ago. Like one time I was talking to Magic Mama. Remember? I was like Magic, but a long
Magic
time ago.
Mama? What?
And then in the Discord I was like witchy. What was it? Witchy something. I was witchy chick or something like
Oh,
that.
that's you.
Yeah, that was me. And then I don't know, my account got hacked. I had to make a new account. But I seen your post and it kind of stirred me a little bit how you're like MSL women, they don't go hard. Like the whole Brittany Granger situation. And it's like they're not gonna go hard. Why y'all supporting her? You know, it's like you're so right about that. Like I wish that we could support. I want to support her. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 years for a fucking weed pen. Like, that's so. And people are like so advocate. They're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see her. Like people are so against her. You know, they want to see her punished for that bullshit. So it's like we have to be the ones, like the MLS, like mixed women. We have to be the ones to advocate for her and sit here and go hard for her. Like I really like
Yeah,
the post
you
that you
have
put
to,
that. You know.
because like
Yeah.
no one else is gonna do it.
Nobody else is gonna
So
give a fuck. Nobody else is gonna give one fuck about it. So it's like, yeah, we have to be the ones that go hard for people. You know what I'm saying? So for our people, and I like that post. I want to get back in your Discord because I see all the messages you post. I can't, like, my Discord's all messed up and I have to. But
oh,
yeah,
okay, I don't know. I don't know about that. So
ain't they going hard on
I just
her? It's
what?
crazy. Oh, somebody said, yeah, they're going hard on her. Like, they want to see her punished, like 2 years, but they're like, yeah, well, you shouldn't have. I said, you know, I felt like, because it was like a lot of people in the black community. I was like, I wish we could have the same energy for all criminals. It's like y'all
Hey,
have this weird energy. Oh, go
like
ahead.
Priscilla, I don't mean to interrupt though. I just wanted to
Oh, go
quickly
ahead.
answer a commenter's question in regards to my race. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm black, white, and I have 1/8 of Native American, since I have a great grandmother who was a purebred Choctaw Native American from Mississippi.
Wait. Say that again, because I'm the one who asked that. Say it again. I was fixing my audio. What
Oh,
are
that
you?
was you? Oh, that was you
Yeah,
who asked? Yeah, I'm
yeah.
black and white, but I'm also 1/8 Native American, since my paternal great grandmother from my dad's side was a purebred Choctaw Native American from Mississippi.
Okay, so multiracial, right? So
Yep.
yeah, that's most Americans, honestly. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we were talking about that. We were talking about it in the Discord. It's like, what does it mean? Like, where's is there? Are we gonna gatekeep this? Are we only gonna accept people who are like what 50? No, it's like we should be inclusive towards everybody. Is mixed at the end of the day,
well,
right?
and
You
in
know what I'm
this country,
saying?
that'd be a waste of time because like it's too diverse.
Exactly. It's too diverse, right?
Yeah, it's way too diverse. It's a waste of time. But anybody who wants to join, really, like,
Exactly. That's what I think. I think we should be definitely be inclusive because that'll cause less drama. It's not gonna be like, oh well, they're gatekeeping mixedness or whatever, you know. But it's like, because I just want to I want to bring a positive association with being mixed because there's such a negative connotation in this country because we think of being mixed. Oh, my grandfather raped this person, conquered like the so people are ashamed of their mixed heritage basically because they associate it with like slavery and like rape. And I just want to bring a positive meaning to this mixed experience because most all of us are mixed. All of us have mixed ancestry or whatever. Most of us do. So let's bring a positive light to it instead of being ashamed about, oh, my ancestors were biracial, or my ancestors were like, you know. Yet of course there's a negative. We understand the negative side to it, you know what I'm saying? And that should be, you know, not going to try to change it. Like that's it. Yeah, that did happen. That's history. But now where we are in America is nobody, we're not really products of rape anymore. We're products of people consensually choosing to sleep with each other and creating mixed people, right? So it's like, let's create a positive experience. Let's create a positive meaning to that, you know? That's my thing about it. Instead of it being around confusion, like everybody associate being biracial and mixed with like confusion. You know, they don't know who their identity, they don't know who they are, they don't have a
well,
history, they don't
what
have,
they
you
mean by
know.
that is like you don't have a community, so like you don't have like a real place.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. That's exactly my point. That's exactly what I think
because
too.
there's
It's
a
like
bunch
we
of
are.
mixed Latinos, no one says that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they have like yeah. So it's like they that's that's exactly what I was saying in the Discord. It's like first we need to establish a sense of community in the first, in order to have a sense of pride in who we are. Because if you're fucking lonely, you don't have nobody, you're gonna do anything to be accepted by anybody else or whatever, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
it's a
like
different lifestyle to live. You know what I'm saying? Than like
mm-hmm,
a community with people who are like 100% for you from the start. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Because other groups gonna have like phenotype loyalty, where they're gonna
Phenotype
if,
loyalty ain't that what's going on? Exactly. Folks think biracial people are tragic, but
yeah,
exactly,
it's
I
not
think we're
necessarily
awesome.
race. It's really just
Yeah,
phenotype.
I love that you said that. I think that I have that same view perspective of us. I have that's my self image. I had to change. I used to think it was horrible and tragic, and I should be ashamed, and I should just hide and not really be visible because it's just a horrible thing that exists. But it's like, no, I had to change that programming about myself. And I think that we should try to work and change that programming so we can view ourselves in a positive way and actually be proud and love ourselves. But I want to know what you meant. Hold on. I want to bring back that comment you meant. I want to understand what you were saying about, let me see, where'd it go? The issue lies with the light-skinned mixed women coming together. So what do you mean by that? I want to know what you mean.
Well, because men are motivated by women for getting stuff done and stuff like that, right? So
Yeah.
as far as with the women, them not necessarily being on code with each other,
Oh God.
kind of, it's not gonna go anywhere if they don't actually, relate with each other first. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Definitely. I think we need men. We need men. We can't we need a balance, like the yin yang energy. We need a masculine feminine balance of energy here. We need both masculine energy and if it's 100% feminine, it's gonna become toxic because it's unbalanced.
It's gonna get
if
a lot
it's
of
100% masculine, it's gonna be toxic. So it's like we have to have that masculine feminine balance. We have to support each other, and then we could create a community. That's no community is just 100. Well, I don't know, but any
100% like what?
100% like female based. I have heard that story about like
like matriarchal. You mean like?
Well, yeah, that does happen. It does happen, right? I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying the most like advanced communities and stuff. We need men to build, right? Men are builders.
Yeah, you need like those special men.
We need the men to help build, and women we sustain the culture of things, right? We pass the culture down to children, and we teach them language. We do a lot. We create food, we create clothing, we create a lot of culture. We both come together to create culture. It's not just women or men. It's like we both. I just don't want that. The whole like feminism, like not feminism, but like there's a war, like gender war type bullshit going on. Because men and women hurt each other a lot. In different communities, whatever.
Yeah, you have to be. I think low key, like. As far as how your people are and how they move, kind of like religious people. Yeah, like religious people.
Yeah,
and all that. You don't want to be affected
like Mormons.
by that. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, one of my friends was a Mormon. They're highly, highly, highly organized, like extremely organized. You don't really hear too much about them, but if one of their people need help or anything, they got them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, in the Midwest we got, in the Midwest we have Amish people, and they're not religious based, but they do the same thing.
They actually do. I can attest to that because I spent some time with Amish families out there in Indiana, so I've seen it.
Did you watch The Spook Who Sat by the Door? No, I didn't. I watched the beginning of it, but it was talking about how like he needs the Negro vote because I'm the best friend a Negro got. It was like a 70s like black station movie. I want to watch it. I didn't watch the whole thing though.
Like mixed people, right? Mixed, like I think more specifically, mixed black would be better, right? They do have like an option out, right, as far as forming their own communities under like the multiracial category. You know what I'm saying? There's because there's no biracial or light skin category, but there's multiracial, and who exactly does that apply to?
Two or more races. That's like the check.
Two or more races.
That's kind of like what we were talking about earlier.
We need to change that.
In regards to like exactly how can you, or what is the exact definition of basically biraciality? I mean, when I looked it up, it means, hey, just two of more races, and that was it in the story though. Yeah. But mainly like people like try to refer it to somebody who's actually like first generation mix, not somebody who's like me who is multi-generationally mixed.
No, technically what biracial would mean would be like two parents from two different tribes, really. Like that technically.
2 different tribes, right?
Would mean. Yeah, 2 different cultures.
Exactly. And it's like,
or you can say
so
2 different phenotypes.
Yeah, but both my parents look exactly like me, so they just basically balance things out for me. But
both your parents are biracial?
Yeah.
Okay.
And same with like my grandparents and so on, though. I mean, I actually come from like that strong Louisiana Creole family line for like the past 100 years. I mean, we still all look mixed. Like if you were to probably see me, you could definitely see it in me. But for some reason, I'm still within that biracial category, though, just because the dictionary defines it as just 2 or more races.
So you're saying you look a little bit more ambiguous. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, because as far as phenotype, yeah, because I'm also multiracial, right? So my father, he's half Guyanese and his mother's red bone, right? So, and she was triracial, like, but like kind of like white passing looking and whatever. And
Yeah,
my mother, you
I
know,
can turn on my camera though, and you can see me.
yeah. And my mother, you know, she's black, but I think her father was mixed. So I came up mixed looking, right?
Yeah, we're
Hey,
mixed.
this is me.
So she's
Hello.
technically, I could consider her, you know,
Handsome.
mixed too, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was of darker
Yeah.
skin, but she didn't look like, you know, your average like dark skin on a big person, right? So I probably would classify her as more mixed.
Exactly. And my thing is, we need more context. We need more. It's so vague. Like, what does it mean to be mixed? Like, nobody really understands. Like, we need our stories being told. Like, what is our experiences? What does it mean? Like, nobody really. It's all
Oh
hidden
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
you got
dark.
that
And
Creole look for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So there you go.
so, what was your experience like? Like, that's what we need. That's what I want to hear more about. It's like, do you feel like it's a different? Like, what is the difference between you, like a multiracial Black person, than just a monoracial Black person? So, what's the difference? Like, what was your experience like with that growing up, or
Me?
how you are, how you move in the world now? Like, how do you think of yourself, and how do you carry yourself, and what does it mean what does it mean to be mixed to you? Like, what does it mean?
Mixed black. That's why I like to call it mixed black because that's
Uh-huh.
really
Okay.
that's the defining factor is the black admixture. Like not necessarily
Right.
like
That's like the
just the
majority, right?
yeah, that's the majority of the situation
Okay.
because you can be half white, half like
So
Filipino
mixed
or
black
Chinese.
is like, okay, I like that. Okay, I'll call you that. So what does that mean to you? What is that experience? Like, what does it mean to be mixed black? And so what does it mean to you?
So to me, it's just a tribal niche, right? So like
Different
you know,
tribes mixing with each other, basically.
yeah, I feel like if society treats you a certain type of way, then that's what you are. You know what I mean? So like if you treat it as a separate group or other group by any group of people, that's what it is. So
I
know,
totally
I,
disagree with that. I disagree with you should just go by what society sees you as. I totally disagree with that. I think we should
no,
define
I
ourselves,
don't
right?
mean like I don't mean like in that type of sense. I mean
Mm-hmm.
like most communities in this country, right? We live in a multicultural country,
Yes,
right? If
definitely.
you look at back in the day, like 1950 or something, the country was like 70% white, right?
It's like
And about like a
homogenous.
It was
yeah,
actually It was actually more like 90% white, but yeah.
yeah.
But they were
Now it's
different, like tribes, like the white, like the Germans, the
yeah,
Italians.
yeah,
It was like that.
Yeah.
yeah. They became white like I think in the 1900s because before that they identified based off of like where they come from. So you have
Mm-hmm.
like the American whites who've been here the longest, who probably have like black or native admixture to
Yeah.
smaller degrees, right? They
Yeah.
identify as American. Then you have more recent Europeans who pretty much identify as like where they came from, like German or like Italians in New York or whatever Spanish people from Latin America. So
Wow.
like
So do you? Oh,
since,
go ahead.
huh? No, I'm just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say
Sorry.
since my lineage has been here long too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Red Bones is one of the first triracial groups in the country. So like
Red bone. I used to get
yeah,
called that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. It's, yeah, they have a funny history and lineage, but like yeah, I just identify mainly as American, but you can put like as first, just simply because my lineage been here so long. Uh, I got like markers for like 10 different European groups, so that's how you know you've been there a long
Mm-hmm.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Same.
So
yeah,
do
yeah,
you
same
feel
thing with the
like?
Belize and the Creoles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So do you feel like
I
it's all
think
becoming one thing? Like you know how like you said, like they used to identify as I'm Italian, I'm German, but they all became white at one point. So do you feel like being mixed is like kind of becoming all the same thing? Like do you feel like that,
Well,
or what do you think?
so are you just is your like your father's black and your mother's white, right?
other way around
Yeah,
for her.
my mom's black and my dad's white.
Okay, is your mother like? Does she have any mixed ancestry,
I
or she
think I
just
do.
like?
Yeah, I think one of my I did some ancestry. One of my great grandfathers was marked as a mulatto on the census.
Okay, so that
So
like
yeah.
because essentially what a lot of black folks is not all black folks is just purely monoracial. Now you do have those in the United States, ones who are just like
Uh huh.
purely monoracial, but then you have other
Yes,
black folks, typically like the type of areas where you're from, and like certain
exactly.
areas,
And then
right,
on my
where they
white
have
side, there was
those
definitely mixed
mixed
too. There was the
background.
mixing.
Yeah, because back in the day, you had the triracial groups, and they mixed with
Mhm.
whites and blacks, and just people just keep remixing stuff, right? So
Remix. Yep.
yeah, remixing stuff and all that. So like, yeah, if you have a black parent that has probably like one of their ancestors had like MGM lineage where they're like either
Mhm.
mulatto for a couple generations or triracial or something, that
Mhm.
that could play a big factor into like things. But
Yeah,
but the
definitely.
co-
So,
the com-
oh,
common
go ahead.
denominator is mixed black though, you know,
Mhm. It is.
because you
Yep.
could be white passing, right? Like I guess majority white. So would that make you a
Yeah.
separate group or part of the multiracial, right?
I
Probably
don't know.
probably
My son is
multiracial.
pretty
Yeah,
white passing. Like me
that's
and my husband are both biracial, and then they all look different. Like my kid, one of my daughters, she looks
Yeah.
like me. My son, he looks like a little Hispanic kid, and then my one of my oldest son, he looks like a little white kid. So it's like,
Yeah.
are
So
we
it's
just
gonna
going
be
off a
like that.
phenotype?
No,
Yeah,
you
it's gonna
can't.
be
You
that.
can't go off phenotype anyway
You
because
can't go
like
off
when you
phenotype.
form a group, it's gonna be a Creole group at first,
Yeah, I
whereas you're gonna
like
have
that. I'm so inspired by Creole people because it's a
yeah.
culture. Like it's something associated with the culture. It's not just like a phenotype, you know. So
Well, yeah,
I really like
it
that.
can't be just phenotype because then you have to really race mix heavily, for a
Uh-huh.
few generations to get like a homogenized look. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but for the most part, it's going to be a Creole-like group. Essentially, you have a range of skin
Definitely.
tones and hair
Exactly.
textures.
It's like
Like you can
Dominicans.
either, yeah, like Dominicans. Now, like what group you want to be dominant is the big issue. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because like in the black community, right, the majority is darker skinned. You know what I mean? And the
Right.
minority is
Yeah.
lighter skinned. Or
Uh-huh.
ambiguous. So
And they feel
white
like,
people are majority what? Majority white looking, pink, like pale skin, whatever. They
yeah.
come like their biggest differences are, typically are like eye color or hair color, or
Uh-huh.
sometimes texture and skin tone too. Like we get tanner ones from like Italy and Spain, but like,
Yes.
and they also Italians and Spanish also have a ancestry of like admixture from like Arabs in Spain and like and Italians did a lot of conquering back in the day, so they have
Definitely.
that dynamic going on, but and they're closer to like Asian countries. So
Definitely. What I want for us, I want us to have a community where we have a say so. Because what in a white community, they don't really want biracial people speaking for them or have a
oh
say
no,
so how their community. In the black
yeah.
community, we hear the
fuck
same
fuck
thing. They
no.
don't want
It's
to.
just that's
Yeah.
They don't want
that's kind of
biracial
why I
people
would.
to be the forefront of black movements and having a say so of how the community is run. So it's like we'll never have a voice or a say so in how we exist in these communities. So it's like that's why we need to form some type of community where we can have a say so about how shit is run and how we can move and go about things in this shit and not just be on the like just be a mule, right? Like the mule, like all you do is tell us what to do and then we take orders. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
no, I want to have some authority about how I am in my community, right? Instead of just being the peasant of it, you know?
yeah. That's just what a lot of like whites do, though. They partake in a lot of racial gatekeeping, but if
They take it
others
to a
were to
whole other
probably
level.
be able to, partake in the same level of racial gatekeeping, then that's probably where, just notice and recognition will be able to get out there much more efficiently. It's just
Is it?
because just right now, you don't really have that though. Now, this is no disrespect or offense to like other people within our community still, but let's just be real. A lot of mixed race people like to bootlick the black community and like to bootlick for a lot of these very pro-black, back to Africa, pan-African types of movements.
Yep. You
That
said
that's
that great
just
wise
that's
man.
just like the the truth of it. A lot of them
That's
want to
true.
choose either one or the other, but more than often they're going to be like among the first to white knight for like the
Hmm.
whole BLM cause, all these pro-black communities that are not going to exhibit like the same level of support for us and our needs and trying to get us to the same level that they're on the mainstream note and even on a corporate note too.
Hmm. Yep. Yep. Can you say that one more time? Just to sum it up, because I kind of zoned out for a second. I'm sorry. Well, you
No,
said
no. What
that.
I was just what I was just
You
saying though
said
is just I
no.
was just kind
Yeah,
of
sum that
making
up
like
again.
another point that even Angry Biracial was talking about in regards to other like mixed race people, most particularly mulattoes, basically
Mm-hmm.
bootlicking for the black community or bootlicking for many of like their
Being
social
like a
movements. Like
mulatto
what
or a light skinned savior is what they call them. Light skinned savior.
exactly though? So somebody who may look like Mariah Carey will still basically go over and white knight for them and try to support them,
Mm-hmm.
even though they're not going to reciprocate that same level of support, even for us still in our cause. So, I mean, like, it's fine if they really want to have whatever social movement they want to kickstart, because this is America and you can kickstart any movement
Anything.
if you have
Exactly.
Antifa or BLM or
Whoever,
the
right?
Republican Party
Anti-Asian
or
hate.
that too, anti-Asian hate or the LGBT movement. So I'm not putting these movements down, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to
That's
point out to
good.
examples about all these social movements that actually went somewhere though. Whether they're on
Yeah,
the
they
left or
took
the
it up to
right, that
they
doesn't
took it
even
up to the
matter though.
highest level. That's
Yeah.
what we need to do. We need to take our shit to the highest level. We need to take this shit to the motherfucking White House and have Joe Biden plan some shit for us. You know,
He's
that's what
not
we
going to
need to
do
do.
that, to be honest. We already know.
Camilla,
Not even
somebody,
her. Not even her. Those I don't know where anyone else feels on that. Kamala is not my
they're not
ally.
gonna do
I'm
anything.
sorry to
You know,
say that.
I never felt like I didn't vote for them folks. I didn't really. I know they don't really.
Oh yeah, I gotta be honest though. Like for people like in our community are hoping for like those like Cory Booker or Kamala. I'm sorry to say, Cory Booker and Kamala are not going to do shit.
We need people. We need. Okay, this is why we need to get this shit out there because we need biracial. There's biracial people in the political sphere, right? We need people advocating for us. We need somebody in that political realm that could advocate for us, that could help
Well,
pass these laws,
you have
right?
to work your way there, but this is a start, right? So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and let's not
Well,
even
so
like
America's a
have like
dangerous
a
place.
it's
political label at all. Let's not even be like a Democrat or Republican. If anything,
Nah,
identify more with the
we're
independent
neutral.
party because I'm
Yeah, I'm
actually an
neutral.
independent.
yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
independent too, man. Like you might as well
Awesome.
I'm just
like
figuring out
if no group is looking out for your best interest, you might as well, right?
exactly, exactly, and I just think that we just need this push for like a community more because we do need some advocates for like mixed people because of what we experience in laws and discrimination laws. Like we do need to push that out there more, and we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do
you
that. We have every right to do that. We have every right to want to protect ourselves, and we're not hurting nobody. We're not anti nothing. Like we support all
well
these
yeah,
other
yeah.
biracial
You
people have
have
supported
to
every
because
other movement.
like there's a lot of
Hmm.
hostility like from like, especially with the black women and light skinned women, there's a lot of hostility with that.
Oh
Like
God, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
There's a lot of bullying that goes on. That's not only online. It's offline in the workplace and all that
oh
good
yeah,
shit. But
yeah,
I want to
because
see.
they're trying to box y'all out of their spaces, and it's working.
Yes,
So like, but
it did work.
that's
We were
really
like,
for the
no, okay,
benefit
I
of
don't want to
y'all.
deal with
Like,
bullying all day.
yeah,
Right.
it's for the benefit of you guys, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I
is
Yeah, I don't want
people don't
to
like each other,
force
it's better not
myself
be
in a
around it.
space. I don't really like, the whole civil rights movement integration. I don't really understand wanting to force yourself to be around people who don't like you. I'll be like, I'll leave. I'll go create my own shit. I don't got to sit here and fucking try to beg y'all to come accept me so I can fucking have opportunities in your place when I could just go and build with my own people and create my own shit. Like, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah,
But I want to,
that's much
I
easier
want
to
to,
do. Like less
yeah.
resistance, less conflict, less
Hazel!
issues.
Sorry. Saying hi, my friend. So I want to touch on what Vanna Ray said, the pro-black writer. We were talking about that in the Discord. Hey, Mixed Fury. Hey, y'all. Hey, my friends. Hey, y'all. But we were talking about that in the Discord. Have you ever watched Phil Valentine? We were talking. Have you ever watched him? He's like a very like hotep. He's very light skinned. He's like super light skinned. But he's
Wait, who
always
is
talking
he?
about like
Who
Phil
is he?
Valentine. Phil
Zero.
Valentine. No, have you guys heard of it? Oh, I think it was me and Mulatto Vanguard. We were talking about him because he's heard of
I
him. And
I
we were
have
saying
no
how.
idea though because I don't really tend to follow people I don't like.
So no, I used to be pro-black. I used to be very hotepi. I used to be very like on that wave, right?
Yeah, yeah, we know a lot of light skinned women are like that. It's nothing wrong with that. Like,
Yes, it's
because
nothing. Yeah,
those your leaders. Those are the people who you're aligned with at the
I thought I
time.
was black. No, because at that time I identified as black because I thought that's what a lot of people in the earlier time
Well,
we
yeah.
identify as
Well, I
black
was
because we're
light.
mixed, right? So we go hard for black people because that was like what we thought was
Well,
the right thing to do,
I think the difference is like mixed
right?
light skinned dudes, right? Like, they don't do it like that or like that. The average one, because like they already know like what how much the
Mm-hmm.
acceptance level is like for them
Yeah,
to be in those type of spaces. The women are a little bit different, because they're women. But like yeah, the men is like
I
because
want
when
to
you're a
touch on
man,
that, but I want. Yeah, go ahead.
you want to touch on the what?
I want to touch on what you're saying about like the difference between like you said men are motivated by women. So if women
Yeah,
come together, so this space was very female dominated. Like the whole Golden State, it was female dominated for the longest time. It was female, and I
you know,
remember Gigi was
you know what
saying
I
that
think?
like we need more biracial men to speak up more. You know, so it's like we have that balance. So, but
Well,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
women
They're
who
gonna.
really hello. I'll just talk about you, Mulatto Vanguard. Hello, hello everyone. I love y'all.
It's always women. Like I think the
Hmm.
first societies were like matriarchal. If you ask me.
Uh huh. Yeah, it was, and then like
Yeah,
you
the
know.
original societies were all matriarchal. So like it's women like because female hypergamy. So like that's the driving factor in things.
So how does that? Okay, so how can the women come together more and like you said they got to be on code? I don't. Women like we're fickle. Women are very fickle. Like you could be
Yeah,
a friend
exactly.
one day and the next day we're worst enemies. So
Well,
it's like
you
it's
be on.
very fickle when it comes to women. So it's like
Listen, you be on
yes.
code like the same way like different white groups are on code with each other. You know what I mean? Whereas, like white groups with certain ideologies or certain like because the thing is with like mixed women is like they all might have a different background like or a different upbringing or a different
Mm-hmm.
culture of parent. So like that's gonna be like an issue as far as like identification and like just how well you're able to get along with each other and also the racial makeup because like if you want to get into biology like yeah humans are like animals like if you mix a pit bull with a German shepherd it's going to have a
Mm-hmm.
different temperament and personality type than a pure German shepherd or a pure pit bull.
Right. So when it comes to women like being the major voices in these spaces, we have to encourage that. We have to support that. Like I definitely support that.
Yeah,
I definitely
they're
support
going to
the
be the driving
women.
factor. The men aren't
Yeah,
going to be able to get nothing done like because men are
exactly.
like in my opinion are individualists by nature, you know what I mean,
Men
like
are more individuals. Exactly. Women are more collective about the community, about like taking care of trying to bring the community together. And men are more like, oh, I gotta go get this shit done, so I'm gonna go. But men,
yeah, that's
men
it.
could be, men could be very much team players as well too. I really believe that like men
Yes,
could
yeah,
gather and
some
be
certain
team
types of
players
men,
as well. So
certain
I'm
types of men.
inspired by men. I like how men they can have a discord, they could disagree and not really take it too. I'm inspired by men how they could do that. They could like
Yeah, because
have a
yeah,
disagreement and not take it personally and just argue on the point, but don't take it to heart and make it feel
well,
like
yeah,
you're
we don't
personally
take further
attacking
because
me.
men know the
I
we know
like
the
that
threat
about
of
men.
violence, and women don't know the
Hmm.
threat of violence to the same like men,
Exactly.
what I'm saying, like men have to move a certain type of way around men
Golden
because
Spirit, hey,
like
angry
the violence
biracial.
factor.
Hey guys,
Hmm.
I
The
think that
violence
more
factor because men are
importantly
more
though, we just
violent. Women are
yeah.
more psychological. Yeah,
I mean, like they
but
usually say that women are just a lot more catty and more conniving, whereas men we are just going to be more like premeditated and just more direct.
no, women are more psychological. If they don't like somebody, they're gonna try to turn. Oh, sorry, my daughter.
Oh yeah,
She's
women
like,
manipulate things. Yeah, that's always been
we'll try to turn the whole.
females'
I've experienced that a lot in
domain.
my life. Yeah, they'll try to turn the whole like you know how like in the black
You see how
mixed women getting
black
kicked
women
out of the black
manipulated the
community.
culture to shift,
They're
didn't you?
trying
Right?
to they're trying to turn the whole. There's a whole narrative
Like black
against
men were just
biracial
focused on
people.
passports, and then black women come in
Believe
and change the whole game.
pro black is just as bad as pro white. I agree, and male voices are needed in these spaces. I 100% agree. I like it. So, but for me, it's like we women were psychological. Like I said, we'll try to turn everybody against you instead of men. Men will go, we'll probably fight one time and then be cool after it, right? That's what men do. But like we'll try
Yeah,
to turn everybody against you. We'll try to talk shit, turn everybody against you.
yeah,
I've
gossip
experienced
and
that.
slander.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like
like we
men.
saw you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
you
I will
ladies
say
do
this
it.
though,
Yeah,
from
that's
experience, those who have been more vindictive have been women, in my experience. It's not to
oh
say that
yeah.
there's no vindictive man out there, but it seems as though
I've
women,
experienced it too.
just more bad women, so to speak, have been more on the vindictive side than vice versa.
Come on up here.
But long
You
story
deserve
short,
a
though, I
nap.
mean, like I know this evolved into like a man and woman conversation, but
Hmm.
just in conclusion, our community just needs a balance. This is not going to
We
be in
need
some like
balance.
ultra patriarchal or some ultra matriarchal
We need to
system
work
that we have
together.
established. Though we're
Hmm.
kind of the types to just establish more of a balanced system. More importantly,
Exactly, because look what happened in the white community. They became ultra patriarchal, then controlling every goddamn thing, and then the women are turning against them because they feel
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
don't have a voice or a
See,
power.
you
So
know
we
the
can't
good
yeah,
do it like
thing
I'll
that. We
though.
say
have to
this
respect
last.
each other.
Lastly, I will
Mhm.
say this though. That's why nowadays women are the first ones to initiate the divorce 70% of the time.
Mhm. 80%.
Oh, 80%, I should say. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah,
That number has gone up though. Well, it's women who are initiating it first because
yeah,
they're
yeah.
Yeah.
tired of the ultra patriarchal argument
Ultra
though.
patriarchal. It should be a two-way street. Any relationship is
I,
two ways. So we
I
need
don't
to
think that's
respect
why
each
they
other two ways.
divorce. I think
Part of
people
it,
pick the. I think people pick the wrong partners more than anything.
No, look, I'm a married woman. Okay, I've been with my husband. We got married in 2018, and me, I had a falling out with him because I feel like he didn't want to respect what I got to say. Nobody want to be in a situation where they're not respected. Do you want to be with somebody who don't respect you? Nobody. Men don't want to feel like that.
Well,
Women
you
don't want to
can't.
feel like that. So that's
The
it.
thing
Like
is,
everybody want to be
like,
respected. Period.
I don't know, like, is that even a thing anymore?
What?
Like, men being super dominant with the
Yes,
women
it's
they're
a
with.
thing. Yes, it's a thing. You don't see how online how it's like people are fighting extra hard to get women to be submissive and yes, it's a thing. Men want to be the
Yeah, well,
dominant ones. Yes, it's
because
a
it is
thing.
yin and yang. Like, the problem is the masculinity, like, in some of the women. Like, so, like, guys want more women that's more feminine, like, just, like,
Yes,
soft.
I
You know what
agree.
I'm
No,
saying?
I 100% agree. I think women should be feminine. I embrace my femininity. I love it.
Well, yeah,
There's
that's the
like
issue. Some women feel like, okay, I should
I
be
believe
masculine or
I believe
something.
femininity is a superpower. I believe being feminine is super because it's like look, it's like I could sit here and argue with you and I could be combative with you, or I could just walk away. Like that's the feminine thing to do. I could just walk away and just
Well,
not talk to you.
I don't
Like that's
argue. Like, I personally don't argue with people. Like, if it turns to argument, the conversation is over with. You know?
yeah,
I'm the same way though, dude, because I do not have any energy for that.
yeah.
I was already with a woman who was very argumentative though and just crazy. Would go from 0 to 100 and just loved that stuff and was addicted to it.
That's
Those days are
toxic.
over. I
Yeah,
need
I
Yeah.
used to be
emotional and
toxic
spiritual
too.
stability. That's it though.
I used to be real toxic. I used to be like that. Me and my husband used to be real toxic, but I had to face my own triggers and really use that as an opportunity. I had to heal myself. I never been to therapy or anything. I couldn't afford therapy, but there's so many online resources you could do. Like Hazel was posting a bunch of like mental health. You have to take responsibility for how you feel. You got to take responsibility and not take shit out on other people. You got to sit here and heal those triggers and wounds within yourself and not sit here and get mad at other people for triggering you, but you have to just realize once you heal from that shit, it's not even gonna bother you anymore. Like whatever used to bother you about whatever this person was doing, it don't even bother you no more. Of course, there's gonna be disagreements. You guys are not gonna see eye to eye about things, and you could like have a mature conversation about it and like talk about it, and come to a conclusion. But it's like it just gets toxic when you're not healed from all the shit you've been. A lot of us are not healed. That's why I wanted to come into the space and try to encourage
Same
healing
here.
and growth, so we don't stay in this
Yeah.
hurt space forever.
Same here though, because what I want to
Well,
quickly say is that because you remember like when I was just telling you and Jesse about my mom, so and how at first, yeah, I would get triggered by just her black and white thinking, but then at this point, I'm like,
They don't even bother you,
although
right?
I disagree, I very much respect where you come from, especially given the fact that you were growing up in an era in which was very segregated and it was very black and white in terms of the thinking in the deep south of Mississippi. But I'm
But you
still
can
going to do my
understand,
thing and I will let you do
yeah.
your thing. That's just kind
Exactly.
of like
Like,
where I am at this point, but it's just not necessarily something that triggers me anymore. It used to, but
yeah, you should,
I'm
right?
just
Until you
like,
heal.
I will respect
Until you,
your
well,
space, even though I disagree with you, and I
yeah.
will work against your thinking, but you have every right to feel the way you do.
Well, exactly. My thing is like, as far as with the biracials, like, if you guys are biracial, I'm not. Like, both my parents are things. So I want to understand, like, so how do they culture you? Like, like they don't tell you the date. Do they like religious or like they just they whoever whoever makes you happy is that sort of thing?
Oh, dude, my mom has a tendency to one drop.
Is your mother white?
She'll be the type. What'd you say?
Is your mother white?
My mom is exactly what I am. Like when I turned on my camera, we look literally alike. Because remember,
Oh,
we
so
both
she's
come.
mixed too. Oh,
She
both your
is.
parents. Both your parents mixed, right?
Yes,
Oh, okay,
and they have been for
I
like the
thought you said
past
you're
century.
biracial.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's so. Okay. So like they don't. Okay. So like that's a Creole type of culture, right? But as far as like, 'cause it gets tricky, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of lost my train of thought. Um, let's see. What was I originally saying?
Oh, this is the last thing I said is that she has a tendency to one drop, and she'll be like the type to say, well, society still sees us as black, so therefore that's what we are. That's basically like her mentality, and
Oh,
we're
okay.
getting ready to respond to
See,
that.
see, my situation with that, I just responded to that what you exactly said because I kind of I'm kind of out there right now. So yeah, as far as seeing as society seen as black, technically you can be seen as black, right? A black mix or different subgroup under black if you want to go that route. Now, um, as far as like black people accepting you, and as far as like in leadership positions or just in general, as far as they don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the different white groups. They don't necessarily accept each other, even though they identify as white. Italians and Germans and stuff. You look at maps of like white ethno states in the country.
Oh yeah,
The,
they're all very different.
yeah, like Italians mostly stay in certain areas and like stuff like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because you have perfect, what's the word, plausibility or excuse, right, for doing that, like far as discrimination based off of, your phenotype. Um, it just takes a community of people. That's it. So who
No,
think the
I
same.
agree. Oh, and by the way, man, people usually tend to think that I'm from Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic. So if anything else, I was just telling Priscilla here is that, well, if people really want to go that far in terms of how society sees me, they've actually seen me as Hispanic. Because like just like not that long ago, a white motorcycle cop like pulled me over though, and he gave me his ticket though. I mean, I for answering my phone during a red light. And guess what he put on a ticket? He put H.
Yeah. Shit. Like for all you know, he did it on purpose. Like, because the thing is that your identity in this country is a choice. I don't know if people. I feel like it's a choice, right? Because birth certificates no longer have race on them, right?
Yes, they do. I think they do.
They
No,
still
I think
No,
do,
that
they
still,
don't.
but
No, they
maybe not
don't. They
as.
don't. They
you
did
just
back
looked
in
it
the
up.
day. I remember my mom's. My
Yeah,
mom's
they
had
used to. They
colored
don't
on
do.
it
They don't have.
here.
They don't have race on it anymore. Probably because of people just identity change and stuff like that. As far as like back in the day, they had options for just German as your race. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is like, um, actually, I lost my train of thought again. Sorry about that, y'all.
I think see, Mulatto Mermaid says, okay, my dad's the same way. He's mixed Afro Indigenous, but he always one drops. So like when my mom does that, like I said, I'm understanding to where she came from though, because she still has that 1960s mentality though, because she was
Yeah,
born in
exactly.
because she was born in 1959 in Natchez, Mississippi. It's just right across the river from Vidalia, Louisiana. And she's we had family members who did the same thing. Even like a grandparent of mine who was a full-blown quadroon and she was damn near white. She was one dropped. So that's what she grew up with up until she moved to California in 1973.
Yeah, those
So
were the
that,
times.
yes. So
I'm not sure if they didn't allow the multiracial category because I know they did have it in previous times. They had the multiracial category.
they did, but it just wasn't really as mainstream as it is right now. Nor was it really as accepted though, because still much of the country at the time was like 88% white. They were always going to be the types to one drop,
Well,
and people
allegedly, because a lot of people were
allegedly
marked
though,
as
but
white.
allegedly so though. But even like prior to like the whole 1965 Hart-Celler Act, there were still all those crazy laws that were put into place to keep like whites like the overwhelming majority of the country though, until Lyndon B. Johnson signed like the Hart-Celler Act of that year, which then yes, added a lot of changes to the demographics, but I always suspected that there could have been something going on even prior to
Well,
1965.
well, yeah, there was because like you had the Indian Removal Act, right? So, and they pretty much you had to be on the reservation to be native, right?
Yeah.
Like regardless if you're mixed or how mixed you are as a native, if you're on the reservation, you're native. So and I think a lot of the triracial groups in the South, yeah, got recategorized, reclassified as maybe like black or white during those times. So I think that was just a product of the government of the time to classifying people for whatever agenda they were trying to do. Maybe to fluff up the white numbers or something, or I don't know,
It's
because at that
interesting that
time they did have mass European immigration at the time of the Indian Removal
But
Act.
how did it
That's the
how did
reason
it
they.
that's
change?
interesting. That's interesting that you say that
Why
though.
did
Wait,
we
wait, wait.
sorry. I just want to
Oh
know
no. Well,
how
I was
did it
just gonna.
change? Like go ahead, sorry.
Oh no. There's just one thing I was just gonna say is that it's interesting that he said that people could have just like random people could have possibly been like lumped into just being white. Nowadays, that's actually happening too. But then there could actually be that possibility where we could
Yeah,
be lumped in
apparently a
as
lot of
white though.
Latinos mark white. So
Yeah, and there could be a possibility where me, you, and Priscilla will start to be, lumped in as white just to boost up the white numbers, since we already do understand that white fertility rates are
Wow.
pretty low in this country.
that's
Even
that's
people
true.
who are like Middle Eastern or they're Syrian or they're Lebanese, as long as they're
Yeah, and
super
those are
duper light
mixed
skinned.
ancestry people.
Yes, basically.
So, but the thing is, they still have the multiracial category. Like, and if you look on the Wikipedia, the multiracial is at 10%, right? For far as many people who mark multiracial, 10%, right? So the black community is 12%. Hispanics 17%. I think Asians are like 6%. So like, who's marking on the multiracial category for the census?
That's a good question. But
Yeah,
just right now,
That's a
those
great
those
question.
numbers are always changing. But
We
oh,
gotta
hey,
start marking
Blasian.
it up. We
Hold
it
on.
gotta
was
start
like
I was saying,
marking it
hey, the
up, like the
Blasian King.
multiracial.
the previous census was like 4% multiracial. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. So that's a 6% increase. It sounds small, but like on in a country with about like 300, like was it
That's
like
a lot.
350 million people? It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like 10% is could
Yeah,
be
it is.
like 35 million people.
So, like in
Wow. I
total,
wonder
we
how they
actually
do it in
have a
other
total of
countries that are mostly like
330
mixed
million people
dominated.
in the. Sorry, you go first, Priscilla.
Sorry, I just want to know, like, you know how like countries like Puerto Rico and Dominican. That's why I want to bring them into the dialogue. I want to know how like it works. Like, do they have a census? Like, most of them check off multiracial, right? And they're like the mixed dominated. Mixed people are the dominant majority of those type of countries, and so I just want to know how things work. I want to travel. I want to see like different experiences, like 'cause, it's such a different experience in America. Like our history and stuff is so unique and different, and it's like I just want to. I want to. I love this dialogue though. Like, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. My phone died at one point, and so I had to come back in here. But I love
No,
it.
no,
I'm
that's all
loving
good
this
though
like history.
because
Like,
I'm
I just want to
actually
know
an
how
op-
did it.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No,
Oh
you're
no,
good. I just want to
I
know
was
like
just
why
saying
did
I
it
was just
change?
right up
Why did
there
we
with you,
stop?
Priscilla.
Like,
I was just saying that I'm right there
mm-hmm.
with you because race and ethnicity is actually configured very differently in other countries. Because like there was this one girl who I wanted to
It
date,
is right.
and she was actually from the country of Georgia in Eastern Europe, where Joseph Stalin's from. She had no idea
Mm-hmm.
as to what
Yep.
I was, and I've been trying to see this Persian girl though, but I'm not
Mm.
sure where we're gonna go because she wants to travel all over the world. But I want to bring her here, and she even had no clue as to what I was. It's just
Mm-hmm.
because race and ethnicity. I mean, the racial and the ethnic perceptions are very different depending on where you are in the world, and they're configured differently in different parts of the world. So as far as like Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic, there's a possibility where they may not even check off anything along the
Mm-hmm.
racial or ethnic lines until they arrive to the US.
I love that because it's like in those countries they're smaller, right? So you could have like a national identity, but in America it's like so big. Like like the Creole, they have like a regional. How do we have like identity within this space? Because it's like okay, we could all like say we're American, but it's like they still do count race very much in America. So it's like like I can't really claim I'm Creole because I'm not from that region. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do we create like a sense of identity within ourselves in this big ass country with everybody all spread out? You guys are in Las Vegas, I'm in Washington, some people are in New York, some people are in Georgia, some people are all over the place. Like, we can't really
I'm from
create like a
Michigan.
regional identity.
I live in Florida, but I'm in Michigan right now.
Yeah, but it's like we're all spread out all everywhere. So it's like,
Yeah,
how do
these
we
places are
create a sense
very
of
fucking
culture and
far from
community
each
since
other.
we're
They're very far.
exactly, we're very far from each other. So it's like, how do we have that? Like, the internet is a blessing in that regards, you know, so we can
Yeah.
connect and like meet up,
Right.
exchange ideas and talk and everything. So it's like, but that's the major like hurdle in America. It's like, how do we mix people in America like overcome that sense of like distance within each other? Like, we don't have a little small knit community where we could call it and create a culture and create our own
Well,
way of life.
you would
We don't
essentially
have
have to
that. So
do
it's
that.
like,
Yeah, you would essentially have to do that. Like,
have to
have
pack up and move.
yeah, pack up and move. I mean, like my thing is
Yeah.
that's kind of like the problem with a lot of today's society. People don't really do that no more. Like for example, you know, when like Southerners went to the Midwest, you know, for factory work. Some went back after the jobs dried up. Some stayed and just continued their communities out there. You know what I'm saying? And like, and
Right.
they're all related to
Where would
people
we
in the
move to
South.
if we did choose a place?
Okay, so
If
that's
we
actually
did,
something
if
that
we
I
could,
did
anywhere in
actually want to
America,
like.
where would we go?
So that's actually something that I do want to touch on. So I have to respectfully disagree with just packing up and moving, though, because we have to think of America. If you are already here and your family has been here already for generations, you have to think of it like your house. And
Yeah.
imagine your house having so many leaks in the roof, or so
I
many,
wasn't
so
saying
much
we
thing.
should
Wait,
leave.
hold on, man. 1 second, if that's all right. Hold on. So if our house
More
is
comfortable.
getting a little bit dilapidated and we have holes in there and there's causing a lot of leaks and everything, we're not going to just pack up out of our house and leave it, though, right? No, we're going to stick around though and try to fix it, though, especially
in
when
America.
we
I ain't going
already
nowhere.
have equal opportunity in this country in the first place. So kind of like as Adam's saying right here, though, aka Mulatto Vanguard, that hey, the hybrid mulatto class is already here, now we build it. That in itself speaks equal opportunity.
Yep.
So we don't have to pack up and go anywhere, though.
we're
So
our own
as far as
class,
where we
technically.
go, I don't know, because
You probably should just focus
that
on the
is
people in your
too
area.
crazy much of an idea.
If you are honest.
No, because it
It's a haunted
wouldn't be
house?
possible unless people have money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Okay,
and
then
there's
he
and
says
there's
That's
though,
jobs and
yeah.
stuff.
if it's haunted or something, though, I mean, like, okay, man, all right, we're not, nothing's haunted, but just I was just kind of speaking in analogies here, though. Like, we're not, even if we have a good house here and it's banged up in some way, let's
I'm not
fix it,
going
not
nowhere.
leave
I'm
it.
staying in America. But like I said, what was the like what I said? If we could pick one place in America to go off and build our own shit, where would it be at? Like, I want to go somewhere warm. I'm tired. I don't want to be nowhere cold. I'd be somewhere warm. Your home is anywhere you are. Your home should be
So
anywhere.
I mean, Nebraska is great, though, since it has all four
I'm not
seasons.
going to Nebraska.
That's cold. That's cold over
Nebraska?
there.
Okay,
I
how
mean, we
about
could if we could
Kentucky?
build our own.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That would be the best. Like the lower Midwest or like upper South.
Yeah, Kentucky. Okay, at
Upper
least
South.
Kentucky has all 4 seasons.
Florida.
So
I would go to Florida. Everyone's voting Florida. So
I live
I'm
in
down with
Florida. But Florida's like,
I'm down
if you
with
got
Florida.
we're not
money,
going to deal with all that humidity and those hurricanes.
you have
Plus,
a lot
we
of
don't
the
have all
groups in
the four
Florida
seasons.
too.
Humidity is
Like,
good for your skin. It's good for your skin. Your skin is nice and like hydrated, and
it
it's good
is.
for your
It
skin.
is.
I like the humidity.
Trust me, as someone who lives in
No,
Florida,
I'm sorry. I'll
All
pass
those
on
Florida.
Florida, though.
it's really
Y'all come to
good for your
Florida. We
skin.
could go
I'm
in.
telling you.
We could be in
Nah.
northern Florida. Northern Florida.
Tampa area would be the
Like
best
by
area.
like Panama.
How about
Yeah.
Pensacola?
I don't want to
Pensacola's a
deal with
compromise.
hurricane. Pensacola.
Okay, we can
that
go
works for me.
to Tallahassee or Pensacola.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Okay, that works for me. I don't want to deal with hurricanes. I don't want to live like in South Florida where they deal with hurricanes. I don't want to deal with that. But we got to have our own water supply, because whatever in the water to make people act crazy in Florida, we gotta.
well, yeah. South Florida is its own thing.
We
Like,
don't gotta start
you wouldn't
acting
want to go
crazy
there.
in Florida.
At least you get all
All right,
your
let's
nice
go.
4
We need
seasons in the
alligators.
northern part of the Panhandle, so that works for me, though. I love all my 4 seasons. But yeah, northern
love
Florida
swimming in the
does have
ocean,
that.
yes.
So like Tallahassee or like Pensacola is good for me then. I actually want to visit there too. Never been there.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm gonna start saving up. We gotta. Okay, I want to build a restaurant, so I'm gonna have the restaurant. I'm gonna feed everybody. So who's gonna biracial angry biracial? He's a farmer. He got a farm in that bitch. We need a doctor. We need some doctors. Well, y'all need to go to medical school. Get some doctors
Yeah,
in here. We
lawyers.
need some people who make clothing. I don't mind
Can
having
you can
teeth.
you hear me?
I used to live in South Florida. Oh.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, just making sure because I
So
just got a
we
phone
gotta
call.
start getting our skills up. I want to go to culinary school. We gonna have our own cuisine. We gotta start building our own like food and everything, and building our own clothing. Have our own little swag, our own little like little traditional attire. Oh, I love
I already
weed.
have
Me too.
mine.
I can grow some weed.
You smoke weed?
Hey, bring it. We can have our own weed industry. No, mixed up since '80s, so I can grow weed. I like that. Yeah. And then me and Hazel, we could be like the little chefs. And yeah, we'll give it 5, 10 years. We focus. If we can focus our collective energy on that goal, if that can be our goal, we can make it happen. Shit.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
gotta
If
get
you
some
have enough
money. It's all
people,
about money. It's all about
yeah,
money,
yeah.
right? It's all about money.
Group
Make some hot
economics.
wings. Yeah,
You
that's what
understand?
it's all
You
about.
understand group economics?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, we all got to keep the money in the community. I'll be on the news in history, big biracial migration. It'll be in the news in history books with big biracial migration.
Yeah,
It would
well, this is
be.
something that I can agree with biracial society though. When he says the big biracial
I love weed.
migration,
I
well,
like that.
yes, kind of like how there was like the African American migration or the
Yes,
Harlem
out the
Renaissance
south.
migration. So there's that. So yeah, it can actually be
Yep.
like something very revolutionary and historical.
Okay, so let's say this too. Let's say this: if we have our own community, people who are not mixed or biracial, we gotta treat them with respect as well, because we know what it's like to be in a community and being outcast and being singled out. So let's lay down the law right here, because we all
They're
have
doing you a
black people, we
favor.
all have we all have white family members, but I'm saying I have my mom's fully black and my sister's black. So if she would come visit my community, I'd want her to be treated with respect as well. You know what I'm saying? So that should be a core value of our community, that we have that like hospitality towards others. We're not going to sit here and do the same shit like that. That's been a cycle of like so many communities. We're gonna do the same shit you did to us forever, and then it's a cycle. So we're gonna be the ones to break that cycle. We got to sit here and be like, we're gonna treat people with respect who are part of the. If they want to come be part of our community, we can treat them with respect. We're not gonna sit here and treat them like shit. Like we got treated like shit. So I think we should definitely treat them like guests. Exactly. Treat them with respect. Treat them like guests. I definitely think that should be a principle that we carry. Okay, we respect others, and we deserve respect back at the end of the day. Okay, you agree? Okay,
Amen.
thank you. How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about that? Because I want my people who created me, because we come from different groups, so I want I want to treat those groups with respect. At the end of the day,
You won't.
we just
A
want
tribal
respect.
allyship,
Exactly. That's what I'm
right?
on right there.
A tribal allyship.
They can't
You
change
have to
our
have
ways.
that
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
You have to have that in a multicultural
exactly.
society. You got to have groups to
Biracial
fuck with you.
society.
They can't change
Yeah,
our
so
ways. So
biracial society.
no. I mean,
Something
like
we were talking
it's course
about.
because we'll be the ones in positions of power. So
Maintain
they can't
your
really do
identities as
anything though
well.
because we're
Yeah,
basically the ones calling the shots.
that's what biracial.
But yeah.
Exactly, biracial society. We missed that earlier. We were talking about that because it's like we don't have no say so in the white community. We don't have no say so in the black community, because black community, they don't want biracial people to be in the forefront. So it's like we want a community where we have say so and authority over how we are, over how we move, over like, you know what I'm saying. So that's what it's all about. Like we are the main people who have authority in our communities. We're not gonna go try to boss other people around. I guess that's been happening because people have spoken out about it, like biracial people trying to take over black movements or whatever. So it's like we just want to have authority and say so in a community, that we are a part of, right? So that's what it's all about, just having some type of say so. Like, if I don't like something, I can speak up about it, not people be like, well, you're not part of our community. Okay, you guys hear me on that?
Sorry,
Hello?
I accidentally turned on my camera there. But anyways,
Black people need to respect, period. I agree. Don't get
yeah.
overwhelmed and shamed and
Well,
deem
it's
their
the
meals,
women. The
period.
women have
Yeah,
to put that in place. You know what I mean? If they want like black people to like respect them as a as a separate group or whatever, I think I think it's probably the women that they have to
period. I think so.
let them know how they feel. So like
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think
I'll
so.
allow
I
him to
want to be
save his place.
respected. I don't want to be just somebody's preference that you could use and abuse and throw away and just treat like shit and just be. I don't want to be treated like that. Like that's how we're viewed mostly. We're just like these weak women. Like Kodak Black said, remember that? I could just break her down easily. You know, I don't want to be somebody like that. I don't want to be treated like that. I want to be respected as a human being. I don't want to be a
Yeah,
fetish. I want to be, you know. Why is it women? That's a
respected.
good point. Why is it women? Is it all our responsibility? No, we both got to take
No, it's
responsibility too.
because
It's not just 100% women.
the preference thing is kind of like is a big
Basically,
part of
we have more
like
social
this
influence.
shit.
Basically,
Yeah, women have more
I
influence.
kind of
Women listen
agree.
to women.
We have more
Men,
social
nobody listens to
influence.
men.
People listen to men. I listen to men. I'm
No,
an
the hell they
introvert.
don't.
I listen to men. That's not true. I listen to men as an individual. You can't generalize everybody. Let's just treat people like individuals, like we always saying. We gotta have that both. Like there's a collective and there's individuals. So we gotta treat like if I'm telling you, I listen to men. Like I do. I respect men. I have a husband. I have sons. Like I listen to men. So it's like, you know, I actually I encourage more male leadership. That's what I encourage more men taking more leadership positions and trying to be not just on some fake shit where they preach one way and then be another way, but on some real shit like where you practice what you preach, where you are practicing you are exactly who you say you are. So that's what I encourage within the men. And then with the women, I just I don't know. I don't know when it comes to the women. I'm like, if y'all rely on us, I don't really know because we're fickle, like we said, you know. I think my phone about. I think my charger, my headset's about to die. I gotta end this soon. But it was a great convo.
Yeah,
He
we
wants to
definitely
die
have to do
south.
this
I miss
again,
it.
though.
I wish as women, I feel. I wish as women, I never feel heard. So we need to speak up. Like that's what I need to encourage in women. Women taking leadership positions, so we could have like leadership role models, examples, so us women could make sure our voices are heard as well. Absolutely.
Mixed
But
women, right?
women say the same thing about men too. We feel like they don't listen to mixed. I don't know. In the mixed community, I think it's a little different. But like on the broader spectrum, it's like women say that they both say that about each other that we don't listen to each other. So let's cultivate a culture where we listen and respect each other. Okay, let's
Yeah,
cultivate that here
it can
right now
start with like
because.
the live streams, right? So
Mhm. But
you
yeah,
know,
let's just end it on that. That's what we're working towards. That's what we're heading toward. Anybody got any final pieces? Because my little headset's about to die. So this is awesome though. I really love it.
So I think that we have a
They say
solid
black women who are
foundation.
pro-black.
As
Oh, go ahead. Mhm.
what were you saying, bro?
Yeah, foundation. What's our foundation? Our foundation is just
so,
building a community,
well,
having your
I
own,
had more
having
to say
authority.
though, but
Oh, go ahead. Go
never
ahead.
mind.
Sorry, I thought you were done. I thought you
Multiracial
were done.
does the same thing. She does the same thing.
My bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's just
Everybody can
I
say.
think that we already have like an established foundation as to how we really want to go about with this still. And as far as like another state for a community, though, I was also thinking about Oklahoma too, since they have a similar climate. It's just you just have to deal
Oh,
with tornadoes too, so that's another place too.
that's where they
But
put all the Indians at.
the Cherokees and Choctaw, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yep.
Mhm.
So then that's also like
I'm
another
part Cherokee.
nice. Got the Choctaw in me, but yeah.
Okay, that's like Mississippi, right?
Yep, that's where
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mom is born and raised.
Yeah, that's where my grandma's from. She's Mississippi. I come from three different southern regions, like Mississippi, South Carolina, um,
Mhm.
Georgia, and one of my grandparents from Guyana. So like, I'm a nice fusion of the South.
Nice, me too, man. I mean, you've now have already seen my face, so you could definitely tell where I'm from.
Yes, it's that Creole mix,
All right.
man. Like,
Awesome.
Hmm.
But I
and a
think
lot of
biracial society
Creoles
made a good point.
went to
Racial
California and to
society
the Northwest.
for.
I'm one of them though, because I was born and raised in California.
Yeah, there's a lot of y'all born and raised out there.
Yeah,
So
because I've already seen like a bunch of people who already look like me out there too.
yeah.
But
So we
yeah,
look a little bit different, like the ones who went to the Midwest, because like mixed groups went to the Midwest too, but we look a little bit different. Different. You know, I'm not sure where these people just come from. Honestly, I'm gonna have to ask these people one day. But yeah,
All right, y'all.
But yeah, I guess
I just
it's
want to
anyone
say one more
else.
thing. So thank you guys. Everyone saying we had a great live. Thank you. I appreciate
Th-
everybody contributing to
Can
the
I say this?
conversation. Everybody made really good points. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is your first live stream, right?
Yes, my first live. What's
Okay,
up?
that's cool as hell that I found it though because like I kind of forgot about you as a YouTuber. It just popped up. Some girl named Magic
Oh no,
Malata. So
I
I was
don't
like,
even
okay,
be on
who's this?
YouTube.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I
I
don't
didn't
even be
even
doing.
know
I
what this
just started
was.
making
I kind
content
of
again.
forgot
So
because you changed your name, right?
cool. That's cool that we reconnected. It's a small world. Hey, cool. I love that.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was you. I thought it was someone else. I'm like, I thought it was just some random person I subscribed to. So I'm like,
I changed my name. Yeah, I changed my name, everything. So I definitely want to be part of your Discord again. And I love what biracial society said. We should start both of us, both
I
ways,
mean,
biracial, mixed people, however you identify. We got to create values for how we treat each other as men and women. I think we should respect. That's the main value that everybody should have. We should have respect for each other and keep it respectful. That's. Let's start with that. Let's have that foundation of respect. Period. Okay, so that's
yeah,
like my
I wish
main.
I could meet more
Can
of
we
them,
talk
right? Like
about boy?
population small.
Yes. What are you saying?
No, I wish I could meet more of them because I really want to hear like all these
We're gonna do this
individual
again.
experiences. All right, just yeah, whenever you're ready.
You should
All right,
join
good.
Angry Biracial's live, or not his live, but his Discord. We be talking in there and stuff. But I want to join your
Who's that?
Discord too. But I said I
And
we talk a lot, and
who's that?
respect is number one. Angry Biracial, look him up. Look him up. I'm
Okay.
part of his Discord. We talk about stuff like the misplaced celebrity get bullied on. Yes, exactly. We're gonna talk about these things. I'm gonna have another live one day, but I think I'm gonna end this out. I'm gonna charge my headset, and it was great. Thank you for joining. It was a great convo. Thank you, everybody. Love all y'all family, biracial and proud, and all that. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day, night, whatever.